And welcome to the Green Hour, WURD at 96.1 FM and also 900 AM on the weekend, sponsored by Celia. I'm your host, Dr. Paul Hopkins. We're here every Sunday from 3 to 4 p.m. You can also find us online at www.wurdradio.com and in the community. My co-host is Health Advocate Bill Morgan. Bill, you there?
You got it, buddy.
And each week we bring clarity to the conversation about health and environment. We encourage clean living from the inside out. A centerpiece of this is maintaining a healthy lifestyle and getting informed about the connection between good health and what is happening in the world around you. It includes what you consume, what you wear, what products you use in your body, how you clean your home, what you drive, what you purchase, and the decisions you make every day. We focus on the environment as it's a key part of our social integrity. On the Green Hour, we will focus on how the people and the planet are one. Without further ado, welcome, family. Hey, what's up? Mike Moore in the house. He's doing a million things over here, bro.
Yeah, that's my boy, man.
Yes,
Mike.
Yes, and we got Big B. How you doing, man? Big Bill.
Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
You all right, man?
Hey, had a little bit of rain over here, but nothing serious. Everything is going good.
Yes, doing well.
Yes,
well,
sir.
I'll tell you, I was running in here because it's traffic jams everywhere. What's going on? Expressway?
What's going on, Philip, man?
I don't know, man. You know, the weather. I don't know if it's the weather changing or the time about to change, whatever's going on. But Bill, I tell you, we're in a strange place right now. This 2020.
That's 20. That's what I was getting ready to say. This 2020
has really been a change for us. So Mike Moore, Mike's going on the other side. Hey, Mike, he sat down now. Let's say what's up to Mike. Mike Moore.
Yes.
Sir.
I got him running this morning. That was this mic just fell. So don't worry about it, Mike.
No.
Sorry, mercy.
We're gonna keep working on that. And
There you go.
Only on Sunday.
only on Sunday. I'm going to let Mike work that out. But in the meantime, Bill, let's talk about what's going on in the world right now. You know, our numbers, sadly, are still going in the wrong direction, Bill.
Yes, they are.
You know, we have to talk about the other day, 85,000 in one day. That was last Friday. Yes. So what's going on, man? Give us some updates on where the numbers are. You know, we have some of these numbers.
Yeah, the numbers are still kind of crazy. As of about, 13 minutes ago, we're looking at our overall confirmed rate of 43,184,679, okay? And our total critical is 77,000. Woo, almost shocked myself there, Dr. Paul.
Yeah,
77,603. Total deceased, creeping, 1,157,393. Total active, 10,486,849.
Yeah, read that
Total
number.
recovered.
Read that number back for us one more time. You bleeped out just a little bit.
Oh, okay, on the total active, that's what? Your total active is 10,486,849. All right? And the total recovered. You got your drum roll, that big Mike?
Yes, he's got the drum roll.
Hey, buddy, I'll put that. All right, 31,327,093.
That is huge.
Wow.
Now that's what's up.
That's what's up. So it means that things are still going in the right direction. You know, in some levels, people are getting well. Still, you know, we have a problem with the fact that there are problems with, of course, the politics of it is coming around this year when we're talking about in a couple of weeks, we're going to vote. Everyone want to vote, right? Hopefully everyone is voting, and I just put mine in last week. So you in, Mike? Mike's in. Bill, you in? I don't know if you're in already.
Mine's been in for a couple of weeks.
Okay, good. So we're all in on the Green Hour. Family, if you're listening, I hope you're in also, or getting to do this thing and make sure you put your vote and make it counted. I hear that the lines are people are really lining up all over the country. So that's a good sign, Bill. That's a good sign that at least we put our vote in. So that's
exactly what I was getting ready to say.
Yeah. So, Bill, we want to tell everyone where you got your numbers from, so that, when people want to check out what's going on, they can go to that website.
Always.
Could you give that to them?
Most definitely. That's ncove219.live. That ncove is NC0V219.live.
Okay, good.
You get that information. And by the way, that's all over the world as well in our local areas, our states, New York, Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey. You get all your numbers there, guys. That way you can stay up on stuff, and that way nobody can smoke you. You understand what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right.
They can't talk trash and say, "Oh well." No, you got it right there, and you don't have to worry about being confused anymore.
That's right. That's right. You know, we want the real facts, the real data.
Exactly.
You know, and even this week, Fauci came out and said something. Bill, he backed up and said, originally he said, it's going to be hard to mandate a mandatory mask.
Right.
Now this week he comes out and says that, you know what, it's better we do it. Just work through the politics. Let's get to it, because we need to put a mask on it. When you don't wear a mask, you're automatically going to increase the chances of infection. So people, I think we've lightened up a lot. We've allowed ourselves to, we get in a state of frustration.
Yes.
And that's where I believe we're all experiencing that post effect of being locked in and not being able to do the normal things that we would usually do. And that's where we want to talk about today. Folks are talking about this depression thing. It's really starting to take an effect.
That's a big one.
I don't know if we're really going to understand the effects of how this affects the entire humanity of the planet.
Indeed.
With what's going on, not being able to go outside, to do the things, to always, and just having the mask, there's a social element of not being able to touch folks anymore. You know how you touch someone, shake hands, with each other, see facial expressions. That's another one, seeing facial expressions. Right. So today, I want to go into, folks are talking about, and that's my number one question today, that I'm getting, Bill, is how do I deal with this state of depression? I'm feeling the effects of, I don't know where I am anymore. Sometimes I'm feeling good. Sometimes I'm feeling bad. I'm just taking the polar swings.
Right,
so how do I start to get this thing back in order? So I want to talk today about, sort of centering yourself, bringing yourself back to things that can bring you back into balance. One being, guess what, Bill? We call it decompression time, sort of unpacking that time. I want folks to realize that sometimes you got to sort of just, to regroup, to get yourself together. If you could just dedicate yourself to 1 hour a day, 1 hour a day to this effective decompression time. When you're feeling up, you're feeling down, you're feeling in, all these different feelings and emotions you're going through. It's good to actually take a time where you can take 1 hour, just 1 hour, and do exactly and only what you want to do. That means, Bill, that means you do exactly what you want to do. That means
I love that.
You can't be something somebody says, Bill, let's go do this, let's go that. No, you have to make up your mind. This is what's going to make me feel good. I'm going to feel balanced too. Brings me back to this thing. There's this resonance going on with frequency. And those of us in the music industry, Mike, we were talking about this a little bit earlier, that everything vibrates and has a frequency. And you have to tune yourself back into the frequency of the planet. I believe that the frequency of the planet is way off right now. I believe that the frequency of the planet, because of not only just the COVID and the fear factor that's going on, but I believe also, technology has a lot to play with that. We're all around these electromagnetic fields, the 5G and all of the other things. We have a lot of disruption. If you could only see the spectrums of energy that's around you.
Yes.
That means when you are walking into your house and you have your phone, you're on the phone, right? Walk in the house and the TV's on, right? What else? You got all these the computer. You sit down at the computer. You got all of this stuff going on. All of these electromagnetic fields are around us. And do you actually even think that this may not be affecting your cells?
Dr. I remember some years ago having conversation with young people, and my question to them was this. You remember the days when we used to have AM radios and all that kind of stuff?
Yes, absolutely.
Look, think about this. Do you realize, my friend, hear me, if you have 7 TV stations in an area, if you've got 15 radio stations, you've got police, fire, and all. Do you know that all of that electronics goes through our fat heads.
Our fat heads.
And I say that because remember, as you talk about that whole idea of the electromagnetic, we're living in an electronic world.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Without electricity, we cannot survive.
Yes, and also remember, there is a level of responsibility that we have to make sure that we're not disrupting. And that's when you have, the electromagnetic fields that are starting to cause danger to the cellular development. They know that you can hit a certain frequency and change the dynamics of the cells alone. They even took sound waves, right? They took water and they blasted with sound. And the different vibrations that it actually created different images, sort of like a snowflake, the perfect spectrums of light, actually started to now make designs and colors in the water. It was amazing. So it just means that there's a perfect system of dealing with the electromagnetic fields and things like that. So if you're having danger and those things are now starting to disrupt those fields, that also throws you out of tune. It's like a tune like a piano. We all tune like a piano. There's this thing called the Schumann's resonance. The Schumann's resonance, Mike can actually tune in, and Mike's over here just shaking his head because, I'm all in his field today. I'm in his space today, so I have to have permission. Can I stand in your space today, Mike?
I got it, bro.
All right. That's what's up.
Make sure you tell it right.
Yeah. All you got to do is to see Mike's head. Mike's going like this.
Correct you.
He's like, Mike says, can I get an amen on it? So the Schumann's resonance is around 7.83 hertz. That's the Earth's vibration and frequency. And that's where, that even sort of restructures the frequency of restructuring DNA and things like that. So those are things that are the vibration. You've heard the expression, they say, Bill, that Bill Morgan, he sure is down to earth. You've heard that expression, right?
Yeah, I have.
Meaning that everything gives a frequency. We are senders, receivers, and balancers of energy. So if you're someone that's experiencing some levels of, I'm just off right now, I don't know what's going on, it may be because your frequency and vibration is off. It's like a piano out of tune. Nobody wants to hear a piano out of tune, do you? That's right. Jing, jang, jing, jang, 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 right? You want that sweet sound.
Do something better.
And as a sweet sound, frequency, vibration, music has a way of calming the savage beast. You've heard that expression also. See, all these things talk about how it brings you back into bed. You ever heard a song? Anybody ever listening to had a song, you said, that's my Joan right there. That's it right there.
That's my Joan.
That's my, if you're around the certain parts of North Philly, you say, that's my Jimmy Joan. So what's happening is we're talking about frequency, we're talking about vibration, and we are a sender, a receiver, and balancer of energy. So get yourself back into frequency. There's things that we use. There are instruments. Y'all know about these instruments? There are instruments like, you've heard of the gong. Bong.
Yes.
Right? You have the singing bowls. You ever heard of the singing bowls?
Yes.
Right? That's also for... How about wind chimes? Wind chimes. Oh, yeah, wind chimes do that. Also the pan flutes. You ever see the flutes? Something about a flute just takes you in those areas. And even the kalimba. The kalimba? Earth, Wind, and Fire had that one, right?
Play that thing.
Yes. Or how about, of course, the drums, the percussions. The percussions, the master drummers, but also the rain sticks. The rain sticks. You could move them up and down. There's something soothing about when they just roll through there, and it's just it's almost like a soothing sound. All of these things can help you get back into balance. I challenge the family today to find your space, find that sound that sort of brings you back into certain types of balance. But it starts with at least 1 hour a day. If you can start with 1 hour a day and just go into your space. Even in ancient what we call African holistic health, there were sounds and rhythms that you actually did. So the A sound represent healing of the lymphatic and the digestive system.
Okay.
So if you just say A, right? That A sound is actually part of the lymphatic system. That's the digestive system. The A, just the A. We can probably post these, you know, to actually go over. But this is I pulled out all the crates of the older, you know, comedic sounds and things like that because it deals with balancing, you know, in this time and rhythm where we're out of balance. So the A actually represents the healing and lymphatic and the digestion system.
Okay.
The I.
Linda brings up rain sticks too.
That's right. And now when you get through something, like say if it was the most frustrating thing, you passed the test and you came out, or you did something and went through the most traumatic experiences in your life, what's the first thing you do? You say, right?
Yeah.
Well, that the AH represents the respiratory system. Wow, that's awesome.
I like that.
That's the that. So we do it naturally. See how the things happen naturally in the system that we just go, you know. See, we're relaxing over here already. See, Mike?
The shofar. Nature sounds. Those great things like
the nature sounds. That's correct. The nature sounds. Also, there's the ha sound. The H-A-H. The H-A-H. The ha. The ha actually represents the heart, the gallbladder, and the liver. That's what that represents. That resonates the heart, the gallbladder, and the liver. Wow. Isn't this amazing? This is ancient Kemetic system and African holistic health that's been going on for thousands of years. And we go back to the A, which healing of the lymphatic system, the respiratory, you know, the ha, which is the heart, gallbladder, liver.
Right.
Also, there's one called the ka, the K-A-H. Ka. So if you just say ka, ka, say that ka, say ka. Ka.
I can do that.
Take a deep breath.
I like that.
Ka. Well, that's the.
Come on, Big Mike. Come on, Big Mike.
That represents the pineal gland.
Right.
Higher consciousness, elevation, you know, mind.
Yes.
You know, spiritual development. The kidneys, the bladder, and the sex organs. Those are the ka. The ka. That's the ka. Okay, and then we.
Dr. Paul. You know what I'm noticing over here as I'm practicing this. There's a mild bit of vibration that seems to be going throughout my body when I do that.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of what you're talking about.
Absolutely. You're resonating a certain frequency, and each organ has a certain vibration, a frequency, and a color. How about that?
Wonderful.
How about that? Isn't that wonderful? You said what did the scripture say? You are wonderfully made. Marvelously.
Indeed, my friend. Indeed.
You're incredible. You know, this is God's his greatest performance is the body, the human body. So we got the E. Don't forget about the E. The E. So if you say E, if you just say E, it resonates sort of like the cranium of your head.
That's exactly what I felt. E. You feel it up in your head.
Everybody say E. I got everybody at home doing these numbers going E. E. See? See right in your head. That's your pineal gland.
I love that.
That's another pineal. That's also pituitary. You know, we call that the grand triangle, the pineal, pituitary, hypothalamus, right in that area. But also that's dealing, the E represents the nasal passages also.
Right.
The nasal passages. So, the E, and then the O. O represents the pancreas and spleen. So that represents the pancreas and spleen. That's detox. But that's also pancreas. That's when folks are, you know, dealing with the issues with diabetes and things like that. Yes. Oh. You all right, Mike, back there?
It just made me think about something. Like,
what did you think?
This is the same stuff we talk about in class. So I made a joke with one of my students. Just, you know how you watching a prank video and they fall and break and mess up their back. You're like, that's the
you just broke your spleen.
You broke your spleen. You say,
right. And the last one is the U. You.
Yes.
You.
You. The you.
That is the stomach, the large and the small intestines. That's where we are. The stomach, the large and the small intestines. Well, family, I want to hear from you. We have, we're going to open up the lines. Bill, you want to give everybody the lines? I want to hear from you today. You know, how are you dealing with this stress thing? Are you decompression?
Indeed.
And if Mike, and see, you know, we got advantage, Bill. You know what that is? We got an engineer here that's he not only is an excellent producer and you know of the show here, but also he's a producer outside. But he's a teacher too, so he's like co-signing over here. You know, we both. You know, I was in the production years ago with the music production, so we resonate on a whole other frequency here. So it's interesting we're talking about this. So today, with Mike's help, we're going to go into some frequencies. And these frequencies, if Mike can, I'm going to tune in and see if Mike can grab a couple of frequencies so that y'all can hear like certain tones. And these are earth tones that are actually some of the things that can help you balance out. And you can probably just go right online and Google these tones in YouTube and listen to these tones, and it helps to balance you out. So say, you know what? I don't feel like beating nobody up today.
I know that's right. Oh, help me, y'all.
I'm going to be just peaceful.
Oh, man.
You got
it? That's great.
So we're going to talk about more about that. Mike's giving me the sign. We got to take a quick break. This is Dr. Paul and Bill Morgan, the Green Hour, and we'll be right back.
This election is the most important of our lifetime. Let's remember why that's true. Under the Trump presidency, racism has found a tragic new normal, emboldened by a president who has demonstrated disrespect and disregard for our communities while embracing and protecting white supremacists. While the coronavirus was taking our family members from us, Donald Trump deceived the nation by withholding information that could have saved lives. He protected himself instead of protecting us. Our economy is in shambles, our children's education jeopardized, and the Trump administration is in court right now trying to take away our health care. This has to end. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are the leaders we need to chart a path toward opportunity, justice, and healing. From affordable health care to quality education and jobs, there's only one choice to move us forward. Vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Paid for by BlackPack and Priorities USA Action, blackpack.com and prioritiesUSAAction.org, which are responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Remember when Trump defended neo-Nazis?
You also had people that were very fine people on both sides.
Or downplayed the coronavirus?
It's going to disappear one day. It's like a miracle.
It's time to fire politicians who failed us and elect leaders who will fight systemic racism, have a plan to beat the coronavirus, and will address bias in our healthcare system. This election, remember whose side Trump is on, not yours. Request a ballot now. Make a plan to vote. Our lives depend on it. Paid for by the NAACP.
WURD Radio presents the following information to help you navigate the up-and-coming election. Still concerned about COVID-19 and voting in person? Pennsylvania has you covered with mail-in ballots. Simply submit a completed ballot by mail. So long as you request that mail-in ballot between now and October 27th, go to votespa.com and apply for your mail-in ballot today. When your ballot arrives, read it carefully and follow the instructions to complete it and return it. You can also track and confirm that your County Board of Elections has received the mail-in ballot by going to votespa.com. For more information on how to vote in Pennsylvania, visit states.aarp.org/Pennsylvania. Vote early. WURD Radio presents the following information to help you navigate the up-and-coming election. Stay informed and vote. For more from Charles Ellison, tune in Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or visit wordradio.com.
Pollock's Herbs and Vitamin Center, 5925 North Broad Street. Open Monday through Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. This week, 20% off. This is a big one, y'all. Iris sea moss powder, 8 ounces. Elderberry syrup, 8 ounces. Old-fashioned turpentine and soap. Oregano honey. North American black seed oil, 8 ounces and 12 ounces, and North American Purely Sea. All yours. That's right, 20% off, but you got to say the key word. I listen to WURD and the Green Hour, and you got it. Pollock's Herbs and Vitamin Center. For more information, 215-549-4372. 215-549-4372.
Monday through Thursday, keep it locked. to WURD Radio. At 6 a.m., start your day with the Power Hour, hosted by Bishop Dwayne Royster and Reverend Mark Kelly Tyler. At 7, it's Wake Up with WURD with Solomon Jones. At 10 a.m., it's Reality Check with Charles Ellison. Then at 1 p.m., it's The Source, hosted by Andrea Lawful Sanders on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, and the Black Women's Leadership Council on Wednesdays. At 4 p.m., it's Evening Words with Nick Taliaferro. Then at 7, it's Save Space with Sincerely Sarita. At 9 p.m., round up your day with Keeping It Real with the Reverend Al Sharpton. Keep your dial locked to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Streaming live on WURDradio.com and the WURD Radio app. Or watch live on WURD TV via Facebook and YouTube. WURD Radio. Independent Black Media.
4 years ago, Donald Trump asked Black America a simple question. Asked us, what do you have to lose?
What do you have to lose?
Since then, we've seen a rise in racial violence and white supremacy, an increase in poverty.
You're living in poverty. Your schools are no good. You have no jobs.
While giving tax cuts to the rich. 200,000 dead from COVID, 1 in 5 are Black. We've lost our jobs, our businesses, our dignity, and even our lives. And he, Trump, dares to ask, what the hell do you have to lose?
What the hell do you have to lose?
Well, Mr. President, damn near everything. After 4 years of Trump, ask yourself, Black America, are you better off? Vote for change.
I'm Joe Biden, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Biden for president.
You're listening to The Green Hour, exclusively on WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, Black Talk Media.
And we're back. It's Dr. Paul and Bill with 1L Morgan.
Yes,
and
sir.
Mike Moore behind the scene.
Yes,
and this is The Green Hour, and we're talking today about, decompression time, but also getting yourself back into the balance of relaxation. Calm it down, family. That means everything is vibration, frequency.
Yes,
there's even a scripture that said, everything that have life, praise the Lord. You ever heard that expression?
Yes.
That means everything's resonating in a frequency and vibration. So what you got to do, we got to get back to that number. We talked about the Schumann resonance, which is actually 7.83 on the hertz. That means that's the earth vibration and frequency. So sometimes when you want to get back there, just relax. Sometimes you got to go out in the park and just listen to nature itself. The birds, the wind blowing in the breeze, things like that. Helps you to bring you back into a natural, down-to-earth Bill.
That's why living out here in the country like I do is so nice.
Yes.
I love it.
I can hear it in the back.
Dr. Paul, I remember something. You were talking a few moments ago, and you mentioned something about the resonance, and you said something about how these frequencies control. Remember Desert Storm?
Okay,
remember that?
I couldn't hear you. You blanked out. What did you say?
Oh, okay, I said, do you remember Desert Storm?
Of course. Mm-hmm.
Okay, now listen. I remember watching the news, and during the news time, Dr. Paul, I see. First of all, they show this picture of our soldiers driving across the desert with a jeep, and it seemed like they had like a satellite uplink behind them. They were dragging across the desert, right? Mm-hmm. And then within about maybe 20 seconds later, you see the enemies sort of stumbling across the desert like they could barely move. And guess what? They were dialing up and dialing down the frequencies of the prisoner.
Absolutely.
Now that totally hit me in my head when the moment you mentioned that. That's
absolutely. It's very well known if you do the research on the 5G. The 5G technology that is now being used for phones. that's a cradle down version of the original weaponry that was used for exactly what you're speaking about. It was actually to keep the enemy back. So it's what they call millimeter wave. So that stuff is actually used because it has the ability to affect, the enemy. It makes them hot. So actually they could point it at a certain, you saw the little, it was like a satellite things on top of the Hummers. That was actually what that was. That's exactly it. So it was used as a way of defense. So you couldn't stay on one side. They pointed at that spot. It heats up. You got to move. You can't stand there. So that's all the difference about frequencies, vibrations, waves, things like that. So listen, I want to go back to, though, focusing the family on relaxation, getting them back into balance, getting them back into, a certain resonance where they're now, you can concentrate. Sometimes the distraction, you got to turn the TV off sometime. Sometimes you got to turn the phone off. Sometimes, just having a electronic device in your space, it resonates a signal. So sometimes you got to take the electronics out of the room. Some people say, I don't even have a TV in my room. I don't sleep with a TV. Or they say, I don't have a television, I don't have a radio, I don't have anything in their room. And some people even have things like the Himalayan salt lamps, because they resonate in ionized, frequencies. So it's a lot to that. So I want to dive into now, Bill, I want to go into the different types of frequencies that impact the human health. And, we just talked about, the ha, the ah, the ka, all those things that you can actually say to keep yourself in tune. But there's also frequencies that sometimes, you ever heard the relaxation where you see the sound, you hear the waves, waves like that. The waves just...
Yes, very much so, very much so.
And the next thing you know, you gone, you sleep, you got it.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, bird surfing, rainforest, all of those things. Well, there's a certain amount of frequencies that give the body a certain feeling. I want to play a couple. All right, with the help of our engineer here, we got a super engineer in here. He's going to play for you. I'm going to give you one of the frequencies that I that I want to start with, and there's several different frequencies. I can give you a lot of different ones, but I want to pull out some that are specifically for what we are all experiencing right now. One is the 528 hertz. 528 hertz. That's also known as the love frequency. Did you hear that? Wow,
I heard
the
that.
love frequency. 528 hertz is one of the most common and used popular of the love frequency tones. It's also known as that miracle tone or that miracle note. How about that? And has been used in native populations and the sounds associated with blessings. Since it is written in history, even when they matched those tones to those ancient instruments, they matched it perfectly. The 528, the bowls and all those different ones. So Mike's going to give us a little tone, just a little bit. And
Mike, can't take too much now, Mike.
All right, can't take too much. Mike's going to play a 528 hertz, and this is a relaxation, y'all. We bringing everybody in a state of balance. That's all it is.
Okay,
so go ahead, Mike. Go ahead, Mike. Okay, I don't want to tear it too long because they might think the stage is off. You don't want to do that. But did you hear that tone? That's a 528. You can almost feel that in a certain way. That sounded like that, like the bowls, right, Mike?
That's the bowl.
That's the bowl. That's like the bowl. You can actually hear that tone. It sort of resonated right in that frequency, right in that area of the love hormone. So it stimulates that one. Another one is the 432. 432. That's actually deals with greater levels of mental and emotional clarity. That's actually dealing with anxiety and stress. Okay, so 432 is another one. That's 432 hertz. And that's a vibration that listens for mental and emotional clarity. When you're having things like cloudiness, fogginess, 432 deals with the hertz tuning, concerning optimal tuning for things like opera singers. Like when opera singers are about to sing, they tune to a 432. You know, Mike, that's what we're using right now for the music industry, right?
Yes,
the music industry is at a state of 432. That's the higher level spiritual development. Those are things that actually where we are right now. So play that just a little bit, Mike, just a little bit, just a little bit. Got it? So that's 432. That's tuning. That's considered where a lot of opera singers tune to, that specific one. But that's also the entire music industry. Now, I remember now, wasn't there prior to that, Mike? I don't know if they taught you this in school. I don't know if this was before your time. But before 432 was actually 420. I think it was 420.
Yeah.
So I think it was a 420, and the music industry or the industry turned it to 432.
Yeah, well, they made the standard nowadays 440.
440. But 432 used to be, which one was it? It was the other way then. It was 440 is the standard industry, right?
440 is the standard now.
And this is deep right here. This is real deep. Michael Jackson used to take his 440s and spin it back to 432. Yes. Did you know that? Yeah, I don't know if folks even knew that.
Prince played all his music in 432.
Yes, Prince did that. Michael Jackson did that.
Wow.
That means they tuned their music to the vibration of love and balance and clarity and emotions. This is deep.
That was the secret.
That was the secret. What made people say, you know, I love that Michael Jackson. I love that Prince.
That's the secret.
Yeah, you know that it was tuned to a vibration of love and balance. And that means even the music, everything that was delivered to you in a way that you could receive it as love.
Wow.
Ooh. Or, you know, when we did Black or White, you remember that? Is it Black or White? Everybody remember that, right? Yeah. You remember that? Everybody was into that because it was actually resonating a level of peace. So now, those are the two that I just wanted to go into. We got a callers on the line. We got Yvonne online. Yvonne?
Wow. Greetings, everyone.
Greetings.
Thanks to you, Dr. Paul, and your staff and the WURD. I'm overwhelmed because of all the wealth of information that you continue to give to over the airwaves. And I've been sharing your formula with people, and I love it.
Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Dr. Paul's formula, yes, I really love it. So I just wanted to ask you a question in reference to hormonal with women, balanced hormonal. I found very often going to the doctors with women, we don't hear the doctors talking about that too much, and I say none of them do, because sometimes they want to just say, well, you know, you're depressed, and that may be so, or anxiety, so you should take this medicine. And me and my doctor have a pretty good rapport because she knows that I take certain herbs. So I just wanted you to touch on that a minute. I know you can't diagnose anything, but I would like to hear so many women are just experiencing different things, and yes, you're on a different frequency. And also, lastly, I want to thank you for the alphabet, which was really kinetic, like you said, kinetic. That's been one of ours too, the people for when you gave out the A-E-I-O-U.
Yes.
So that's our alphabet today, but
that's right.
We know it way before then.
That's right.
People have been using that frequency for centuries and centuries ago.
Yes.
So I just want to thank you for all the information that you give, and all of you stay safe and healthy. And I'll listen on about anything that you have to tell me, with any type of hormonal balance.
Sure. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Yvonne. And what a great question. This sort of ties into what we're talking about today, because remember, hormonal balance has everything to do with frequency balance. You know, the whole concept of bipolarism, it's been used as a bad thing. But bipolar just means out of balance. You know, you're going from pole to pole. What's that pole? What pole is that? That's a positive charge to a negative charge. male-female principles. So a lot what's going on is that the swing from, anger to laughter to happiness to joy back to sadness, that swing is where the balance comes in. That's where the hormones are used for balancing all of those hormones in together. You have testosterone, you have estrogen, you have progesterone. You have a whole assortment of hormones that are fired off by this thing called the endocrine system. But tends to be that the denatured foods tend to throw you out of balance and frequency. We just talked about how, things like, the radiation, electronic devices, all these things throw you out of balance. But what you eat does the same thing, because food has vibration and energy. That's why when people take the herbs, they take the herbs and they say, well, how is this herb know where to go? How does it, and this is why another question, when we were in naturopathic school, I'm sitting with Dr. Africa and we sitting down and I'm saying, well, Doc, how does it know where to go? How does a dandelion know when it enters your system to go to your liver? Or how does the, bilberry or herbs, these are not to diagnose free cure if it's just food for the soul family. I got to make sure I say that, right? How does it know where to go? And that means that it has a certain frequency. It has a vibration. It has a color. And it goes directly to where it's matched. And that's what's so dynamic about the vegetable and the herbal kingdom. That's why it says the earth is the healing of the nations. The trees are for the healing of the nation. The herbs are the meat of the earth, because it actually has everything to do with frequency balance. So when we're talking about women hormonal balance, we got to look at things that sort of resonate and hold and ground your charge. It has everything to do with your liver. How about that? So when we balance the liver we call the nuclear reactor, or the power source of the emotions. So that's where you start to ground and charge the liver, bring that back. That's the only organ connected to your brain. How about that? Wow. That is amazing. So remember, we call the liver the organ of the emotions, but it's also the only organ that has the ability to regenerate itself. You can grow another liver. How? Wow. Wait a minute.
Wow.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Boy.
You can grow another liver. You've heard this before. You can hear how people say, wow, you know what? The liver is amazing. It does thousands of different things for the body. And when your liver is in balance, cleans the blood, cleans all those things, gets the hormones back in shape. So a lot to do with why when we talk about women hormonal issues, we basically deal with herbs and things, not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent disease, just food for the soul. Things like angelica root. Or its other name is Don Quay. Those are things that are used for balancing the woman's hormonal balance. Red raspberry, number one. I say every woman that's listening, you should have a little red raspberry in your cupboard. That means red raspberry teas.
I heard that. Yes.
Evening should be, you might want to sit down, get your favorite music in your best 432 or whatever you have that you love. Grab your red raspberry tea and it's on. And then you could do, that's what the Himalayan salt baths do. They bring you back into a frequency and vibration. That's what the oils do. We talked about the Thieves oil. They resonate at a charge, a frequency. That's why their frequency is so high that it starts to eliminate things like bacteria, virus, fungus, parasites, all of that stuff. So that's why when you start to resonate at a certain frequency, you raise and higher your consciousness and start to now be able to have you become healthier, because your body starts to resonate at a certain level of frequency. So hopefully that helps out Sister Yvonne and all the women that are listening, because it has everything. Hormonal balances have everything to do with your frequency and your vibration. That means also, Bill, that also means one very important point.
What's that?
You got to stay away from negative people.
Well, look, I can handle that without even bending over.
Okay.
Go on. Take it.
You know how they say, I used to say, my grandma used to say, Little Paul, you better stay off them corners. Don't mess around out there, because what you going to do, you're going to start to now, you know, get into those bad habits and things, that means you start to resonate based on the people that you're around all the time. So if you're around people,
that's old folk talking.
Yeah, that's old folks talking now. That's yes, you start to resonate at those frequencies, man. So you got to stay away from. So that means that you got to start to hang around people who have a good charge, a good energy. Yes. I believe that the green hour, we got a good energy over here. Y'all got that? I think we resonate at a good energy, and good energy draws other energy. You know, so when you start to want to get good things in your life, you have to start to resonate at those certain frequencies. And guess what? It comes right to you. Comes right to you. Comes right to you. All the goodness and everything that's going on comes right to you. Brother. Because when you say, well, why is everything always happening to me? You got to think about what kind of frequency are you resonating at. You ever notice somebody got problems all the time? You ever run into somebody, you say, man, you remember back in Flintstones when that boy was, his name was Slap Rock. You remember Slap Rock? He had the cloud that flew around him all the time. All the time. He said, woe's me, right? And everything that happened around him was bad. So that's like some people in your life are just like that. You got to get them out of your life. You got to say, hey, you know what? Whew, you see what the time is? I got to go. And get out of that space. You got me, family? This is important. This is very important.
I'm forever 26. Glory.
Yes. He said that's why he's forever 26. Well, Mike... Hey, Bill, guess what, Bill? Mike just gave me... Yes, he did. Time is up. No. The time is up, family. This has been very engaging. We just got here. We just started talking about this thing. You know, we really need more time, you know, but... I hope someone got something out of this today, you know, because you're talking about the post effects of COVID-19 has everything to do with the resonance and frequency that you're not only around, but what you're generating. So make sure you check yourself. Get yourself into a basic back-to-balance sound so you can do a lot of these frequencies. I'm going to try to post these, Bill. We'll try to post these. But also remember, family, if you want to listen, we've been having these sessions on Zoom every Wednesday evening. And we're having, having Wednesday evening Zoom. If you want to participate, you can get a specific one-on-one interview, or not interview, a invitation. I'll send it to you. Just go to my website, drpaulherbs.com, and you can subscribe to the website. And guess what? You can actually get an invitation to the next Zoom is next Wednesday. And we go in, and we can go into deeper with these frequencies if y'all like. All right?
Yes, indeed.
All right. I want to thank everyone. Bill, thank you so much, my brother, you know, for chiming in. You know, I want to thank our producers, Michael Ledbetter, Laura Lomax, and the president and CEO, Sarah Lomax Reese, and the entire Lomax family for allowing us to have this time. If you want to get a hold of me, family, my number is 215-779-7355. That's 215-779-7355. Or if you want a one-on-one assessment, we are still doing the RM3A full analysis. Just ask for the works, y'all. We're doing a prepaid special, 10% off. So it's 1-877-377-2854. That's 1-877-377-2854. Mike Moore, thank you, my brother. I appreciate you. I put him to work today. Mike. Bill 1L Morgan, thank you so much, my brother. And you know, family, be encouraged. Get in your right frequency today. And remember, be encouraged. And if you're breathing,
God is shot.
God bless you.
God bless you.